This is Dimitri Lascaris reporting from the Handala, the flagship vessel of the 2023 Gaza Freedom Flotilla. And we are now in Norwegian waters approaching Oslo, Norway. And I'm here today with the ship's captain, Joel Opperdoes. Thank you very much for speaking to me today.
Thank you for interviewing me.
So, Joel, could you tell us a little bit about your background? What do you do when you're not the ship's captain for the Freedom Flotilla?
Well, I'm a ship's captain on commercial ships. And when I'm home, I'm involved in other political activism, and I'm also a father and spend time with my kids.
And this is not your first time as a captain of a Freedom Flotilla vessel, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I was on board 2012 and 2015.
And could you tell us about what you experienced in the 2012 voyage, your first voyage, and how that ended for you?
Yeah, well, it was a very positive experience because you could really see that there is a support for the movement around Europe. We stopped in more than 20 ports. There were thousands of people welcoming us and sending their message of solidarity to the Palestinians in Gaza. So that was a really good experience, and it gives force to the mission. In the end, of course, the Israelis stopped us. They boarded us on international waters. They captured all 27 persons on board. They were quite rough. Nobody died at that time, nobody were murdered, but people were tased. They used the electrical teasers and physical abuse. And some of us was detained for up to 10 days. And then deported from Israel because we entered Israel illegally, even if the Israelis brought us from international water to Israel. Yeah.
And could you describe the kind of naval force that arrived to greet you in international waters? What did it look like?
Well, yeah, this was a very surreal day for me because it was a really beautiful morning. I just came up to the bridge and took the watch. And I started to see some naval ships in the horizon, and then they just got more and more and more. And 2012 we used a 90-year-old sailing vessel, and I tried to count all the military activity in the area, and I counted to 2 attack choppers. More than 7 larger naval crafts and more than 20 small naval crafts like dinghies and boarding with boarding devices and so on. And they also had a submarine present. So yeah, it was a really surreal situation. And then of course they came on board wearing ski masks, heavily armed, and very agitated, very angry.
And I understand that you have some expertise in maritime law.
I wouldn't say expertise, but I've done some studies in maritime law.
And according to your understanding of maritime law, how would you characterize what the Israelis did in international waters on that day?
Oh, that's clear. It's only one definition. It's piracy. There can be no other definitions. Apprehending another ship with force and taking over it and capturing the crew, it's piracy.
And you're a Swedish national, is that correct?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
And what steps, if any, did the Swedish government take, to your knowledge, to deal with this act of piracy in 2012?
They actually didn't take anything at all. They reminded the Israelis that I think it was, they reminded them of the rules of the high seas. That's it. Actually, I called my union when I got back because they stole some personal belongings, and my union demanded that the government should take some actions, but nothing happened.
Now that, for many people, would be a very traumatic experience, and yet you did it again, and here you are a third time. Could you explain to us what has motivated you to take these risks and to devote this time and energy to the Palestinian cause?
For me, it's a simple when I can do something with my professional licenses and my professional skills to help others, I don't hesitate to do that. And it's a simple question: if Palestinians are human or not. If we think they're human, why should they not be treated with human rights and have the human rights as we in the West do? And obviously they don't have it. So I will continue until my struggle, together with my Palestinian brothers and sisters, until they are free.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to us today, Joel. It's been a pleasure. And this is Dimitri Lascaris reporting from the Handala on our way to Oslo, Norway.
Thank you so much for watching the Real News Network, where we lift up the voices, stories, and struggles that you care about most. And we need your help to keep doing this work, so please tap your screen now, subscribe, and donate to the Real News Network. Solidarity forever.